Keep it going for your winner. Boss is off in my comic. Are you guys having a good time? Woo! We're going to keep this show going from Omaha. He's also involved within the pro wrestling scene here in the Midwest. Please give it up for Pete Sakaris.
Sioux Falls, how we doing? Tell you a little bit about myself. The world will soon celebrate Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day, and I have cerebral palsy, so I'm very aware of it. It's a brain disorder that affects the motor skills, muscles. It mostly affects my lower extremities. Hi-oh. No wonder I walk with a limp. Wink. It affects my hand gestures too, like I can't tell someone peace without looking all alien-like. And I can't flip someone off without looking like I'm gonna stab them. E.T., fuck off. It affected me socially too, like you had your cool name on the playground when you were a little kid, like Big Bad Tony or Knuckles. Mine was Helmet Boy. But on the plus side, having cerebral palsy means that I never get offended when someone says, "Hey, what are you getting all bent out of shape for?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing, I was just born that way." And cerebral palsy may affect my posture at times, but I'm no slouch. Glad you guys are with me on that one. You ever get constant reminders of where you are at in life, whether you want to or not? I was in Walmart one time. I was in the frozen pizza aisle. I picked one out, and it said right on the box, and I'm not making this up, "I'm single." And I just looked at it, and I went, "Me too, pizza. Me too." But I am single. That's about the response that deserves. And a lot of factors went into my last breakup, but one of them had to be my OCD. Because she'd be like, "Baby, when you finally do have sex, you're going to be amazing." And I'd be like, "I know." And she'd be like, "Oh, it's going to be great. We're going to do it like 7 times." And I'd be like, "Ooh, that's an odd number." I love you to death, but can we just bump it up to 8? We did. It wasn't that great. She wanted to move in, and I put the kibosh on that right away, because it's weird. Like, you have to cook for 2 people, you have to clean for 2 people, you have to masturbate for 2 people, and I just can't do it. Didn't land in Omaha, didn't land here. Not surprised. I love my parents. Like, my mom, she tries to be hip, like, in with what the kids are saying nowadays, and it just doesn't work. She was dropping me off at my place, and she was like, "So what's on your bucket list for tonight?" And I wanted to look at her and be like, "Living through the night, Ma." That's a new one. It made its Sioux Falls debut. I have this weird phenomenon in my life, and maybe you guys can help me out with this. I just don't know why it happens. When I see a girl wearing leather boots, for some reason, I sit up straight, pay attention, do as I'm told, and never question anything she has to say. Anybody kind of lost on that? Like, I was at the chiropractor one time. I was getting a massage. I was getting like the treatments, like the therapeutic treatments or whatever. It was like relaxing music. I was so zoned out. It was so relaxing. And all of a sudden, I just heard a heavenly voice say, "Now go get changed." And I just went and got changed without questioning her once. It's a conspiracy, I tells you. And she was like, "How do you feel?" And without missing a beat, because I was very tired during the procedure, I went, "Like I wanted 5 more minutes of sleep." You guys have a dirty mind. I've lived in my apartment for 7 years, and you ever feel like you're late to the party in some aspects of your life? Like, I've lived there for 7 years, and I just now started eating alone in bed. Like, I know I'm late to the party, but, you know, want to be one of the cool kids, you know? And it affects my ways with women. Like, I'm out with a girl, and she's like, "You're making me so hot. Talk to me some more." And I'm like, the mail came a little later today than usual. It just doesn't work for me. I'm the kind of guy who gets his friends through any kind of hard times they're having in their life, like personal, professional, mental, whatever. But I'm happy to report that me and my printer got ourselves out of another jam. I appreciate that. You ever hear those sportscasters, like they sound like the bros at the gym, and you don't know if they're gonna turn the bro off, and like they like during the game they advertise commercials or whatever, like, "This week Homer runs for mayor of Springfield. Will he pull it off? Catch the Simpsons at 10 o'clock, 9 Central on Fox." And they go back to the game. And I'm like, what must these guys' home lives be like? Like their wives are like, "What do you want to do tonight, honey?" And they're like, "Post-game show brought to you by Trojan." Yeah. But I'm trying to get back into the dating thing, single life. It's not all it's cracked up to be, in my opinion. And I'm trying to find a girl that is into what I'm into. Like, I'm a nerd, a Star Trek nerd to be more precise. And I've learned, thank you, live long and perspire. And I've learned that any serious Star Trek fan will tell you that the neutral zone is way worse than the friend zone. Because with the neutral zone, you just have to deal with the devastation of rejection, and with the neutral zone, you have to deal with Romulans, and they don't take shit from anybody. I need to get laid. I'm a fan of anything vintage, like, the soda in the glass bottles that you can get some places. And I learned that if you buy the Coca-Cola in the glass bottles in some Walmarts in the Midwest, it'll ring up as, and I'm not making this up, Mexican Coke. Which I find interesting because most people who want Mexican Coke don't need to go to Walmart. Anybody ever work in a call center, customer service? I've worked in a call center for more or less than 10 years and still managed to maintain my sanity. And I found out pretty quickly that you've worked in a call center for way too long when a girl comes up and gives you a hug, and the first thing out of your mouth is, "Thank you for holding me." But I knew I was in trouble when I had a girl in bed with me, and that's not the joke. But things were starting to progress. It was getting hot and heavy, and all of a sudden I just went, "Before we continue, I must advise you that for quality purposes, this sex may be monitored or recorded." And as Nathan mentioned and Reed mentioned, I'm a fan of professional wrestling in the Midwest. I'm involved with it as a referee, ring announcer, and wrestler. And that affects my ways with women again. Because when things start going south and the mojo starts leaving, you know what I'm talking about, fellas? I just start talk like the ultimate warrior. Like, it could be going south and I'll be like, "The family that I live for only breathes the air that smells of combat. Come on in, where nightmares are the best part of my day. Exit stage left, exit stage right. The fuses in the exit signs have been burned out because with this intercourse we will become one because you and I are closer to parts unknown." And I realize I'm talking to myself because she left. All right, I'm Pete Sakaris. Thank you very much.